Hey everybody, and welcome to
אנחנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. יהי מדינת ישראל.
don't want to assume what that sounded like. Welcome to another edition of Get Sweaty. I am your friendly neighborhood soda, joined as always by Ben Big Fudge Rainer and 50 Shades of, we didn't realize it was daylight savings time for him, 50 Shades of Geek.
Hi.
That's why we were late, is because we forgot that we had forgotten that 50 is technically ahead of us, so he's already gone through daylight savings time, whereas we have not.
From my point of view, we should start half an hour from now, not half an hour ago. See?
Yeah.
Timey-wimey, whatever.
Wibbly timey-wimey.
There we go.
So we're
It's
here.
it's a timey-wimey thing.
I don't know where he gets it from. One of the best throwaway lines in the Day of the Doctor. But I digress. This is not the Doctor Who show. We are here to talk about our top 5 favorite speeches in movie history. So this is 50's list. So I'll let him do the introduction for it.
Okay, since we're doing our Doctor Who recap show, and we just wrapped up doing a Doctor, which is, in my opinion, the king of speeches, the king of epic speeches. Although the Doctor we are currently recapping at the moment, I would argue, kind of gives him a run for his money sometimes. Not a winning run, but I mean, he's doing a pretty good effort. So I figured, why not just do speeches as our next top 5? And since we're doing movies, obviously we can't do anything from the show because our entire list could be just from one particular Doctor. So,
or 50 could have 3 for different Doctors.
Yeah, at least 3 for each Doctor.
Don't tell me the world.
Thank you for reminding me, Soda. I gotta tell you something later off camera. Okay, So shush. But yeah. Now, my number 5 is, I believe, an underrated one from a beloved movie, but people seem to overlook the speech itself. It's from the Lego movie.
Oh.
And it's, I keep forgetting the name of the character, the Morgan Freeman character, Vitruvius, the little speech he gives at the beginning, the prophecy of the special, where at the end of it, he says, all of this is true because it rhymes, which is a meta in-joke on how all these different prophecies in movies and TV stuff, they always rhyme at the end. That's why people believe that they are correct. So, hold on. I probably should have done this ahead of time. Let me just look up the full speech. Let's see, the prophecy.
Yeah, just a heads up, we will be reciting some of them, of the speeches. So,
okay, now here's the entire script, but where's the thing?
IMDb, mother fluffer. I almost said the full word. I was like, wait, it's too early in the morning.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Helpful.
Says the guy who was late.
But we explained why.
I know. Okay, so instead of having dead air, we'll let 50 look up his speech, and then but while we're doing that, Ben, what is your number 5?
Well, it's from a movie. It's from a comedy movie. And at the end, after the good guys win the day from the bad guys, in the speech Butch gives at the end of Blazing Saddles, his goodbye speech.
Yeah. Very nice. I love that movie. Couldn't get made today.
Oh, shit. All right, you caught me in this bullshit. I love that speech. I'm like you. I love that movie. It's a great, long speech.
Mm-hmm.
I wish. Did you guys ever see the pilot for the TV show?
It's on the Blu-ray that I own. Starring.
I don't know.
Hold on. I might. I want to say it
didn't
was James Earl
recognize
Jones,
them.
actually. I want to say it was James Earl Jones.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, sorry, Louis Gossett Jr. I knew it was one of the more esteemed actors.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Depending on how you look at it.
From a certain point of view.
Mhm.
Great minds, Fanny. Great minds.
I actually found the whole thing.
Okay.
If you
Ben, are you going to be reciting yours?
No.
Good.
Oh.
Because it get pretty rough. Blazing Saddles, after all, the first movie to ever have farts on the big screen.
Yeah.
in such a spectacular way.
Oof. And accurate.
Okay. One day, a talented lass or fellow, a special one with face of yellow, will make the piece of resistance found from its hiding refuge underground. And with a noble army at the helm, this master builder will thwart the Craggle and save the realm, and be the greatest, most interesting, most important person of all times. All this is true because it rhymes.
It's very nice. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I should correct that.
It's a good movie. I
don't think I've watched it since I moved back to my hometown.
I never did see the sequel, but I really like that first one.
Me too.
The sequel is not bad. A lot of people really give it shit. I don't understand why. It's good. The sequel it's not as good as the first one, obviously.
Yeah,
but it's good. And as evidenced by the one we did a couple of weeks ago of the top 5 songs that get stuck in your head. Clearly, I like that movie, the sequel.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised Everything Is Awesome was not on any of our lists.
Because everyone likes that song. That's the difference.
True. Okay, so what's your missionary speech?
Jess in the comments knows what it is.
Oh.
The details of my life are quite inconsequential. Very well, where do I begin? My father was a relentlessly self-improving boulangerie owner from Belgium with low-grade narcolepsy and a penchant for buggery. My mother was a 15-year-old French prostitute named Chloe with webbed feet. My father would womanize, he would drink. He would make outrageous claims like he invented the question mark. Sometimes he would accuse chestnuts of being lazy. The sort of general malaise that only the genius possess and the insane lament. My childhood was typical. Summers in Rangoon, luge lessons. In the springs, we'd make meat helmets. When I was insolent, I was placed in a burlap bag and beaten with reeds. Pretty standard, really. At the age of 12, I've received my first scribe. The age of 14, a Zoroastrian named Vilma ritualistically shaved my testicles. There really is nothing like a shorn scrotum. It's breathtaking. I suggest you try it. Anyone know where that's from?
London Tower is the international man of mystery that Dr. Evil in the group therapy led by one Carrie Fisher.
Damn right. I just rewatched that not that long ago, and it was actually Jess who suggested, was like, oh, you should use that one. Okay. Her idea also for me to try to do the impression, which I don't think I can do a Lauren Michaels impression.
So you could say he suggested it to you.
But
you know, you did well enough for me to pick it up because it took me maybe 2 seconds to.
For sure. It starts off kind of normal. As when you start getting into the 15-year-old French prostitute named Chloe with wet feet, where you're like, wait, what?
I love that trilogy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just rewatched the trilogy, I think, a week ago. And, oh, yeah. So good. So good.
And it gets funnier as the trilogy gets.
See, for me, it peaks at Spy Who Shags Me, and I think Goldmember steps down a little bit.
I see that.
You got a compliment there, 50.
Did I?
Yeah. So Ryan's number 5 is from Gladiator when Maximus reveals himself in the Colosseum. Great speech.
Yeah.
Is it the Are You Not Entertained one or the one before that?
Good question. And Jess says Stop All the Clocks from Four Weddings and a Funeral, which I watched for the first time last year. That movie is fantastic.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
Dude, highly recommend.
Okay.
All right, 50. What is your number 4?
Okay, so my number 4 is a bit controversial one. It's and it's one that technically has 2 different versions of it, but it's Scar from The Lion King, obviously, talking to the hyenas. And the reason I say it's controversial and it has 2 different versions of it is that because they slightly altered it for the live action remake.
Mm-hmm.
Live action.
Live action ish.
Yeah,
I mean, I consider it live action, and it's a good thing that Bibiani's not in the chat right now. So, yeah, I consider it live action. It's not Be Prepared, but it's the part where he's standing there, and obviously the imagery they removed for the live action remake of the hyenas marching like Nazi soldiers, and the whole Scar yelling, "Stick with me, I will be king. Stick with me, and you'll never grow hungry again." Not technically part of the song, but it's still I mean, for the iconography, it's a Nazi speech, kind of mirror. It's obvious. It's not. I mean, it's being pretty obvious and blunt about it. They're painting Scar as the villain, as the bad guy. And that is why I love that speech so much, is because it shows you how the lengths that this character would go to achieve his goal of dominance over the Pride Lands. And obviously they kind of revamped it for the live action version. They originally were planning to remove the song completely, but then they brought it back as a sort of speaking song ish. I don't know the actual technical.
They did for that what they did almost did with Bare Necessity, not Bare Necessities. I Want to Be Like You in the Jungle Book one.
No, I would say that was a pure song.
Yeah, that was a song.
Yeah, with Christopher Walken.
I mean, yeah, he does sing it, and they also actually do the full song version of it in the credits of the Jungle Book live action. You call that live action, Ben?
Yeah, because you actually had a live action kid.
Yeah, you had a live action person in it.
Yeah.
And more live action than The Lion King, in my opinion.
True. I would give him that one.
What?
Yeah. I mean, but it's still a live action. They're using live action animation and CGI, not animated.
And
They're all made on the computer, They're all made on the computer.
Not all of it. The first shot of the movie, it was actually filmed.
Fine. Yeah. I mean,
Anything
for all intents and purposes, yeah.
For all intents and purposes, yeah, most of the Avengers was also CGI, made on a computer. And we give that one a pass. Most of Guardians of the Galaxy was also CGI.
One of the reasons being there's a lot of actual physical actors in those movies as opposed to The Lion King, where there is not a real animal.
But the specific CGI techniques are live action CGI, not animated CGI. Like, let's just give a random example. Big Hero 6. That's an entirely CGI movie. Animated CGI.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset. Okay, you're right. There's live action.
But again, the CGI used for those movies is what I consider live action CGI. CGI meant to look live action. Big Hero 6 was never intended to look live action.
But then it should be referred to as live action CGI, not live action.
That's what I've been saying this entire argument. I've been saying live action CGI.
Okay.
I missed that part. I'm sorry.
And also
yeah, me too.
Another random example, The Good Dinosaur, the CGI looks live action, but it's intended to be animated CGI, not live action CGI. We can debate this until Bibiani drops in the chat.
We could.
and correct us all.
And there actually might be a chance, a forum for you to do that someday. All right. So, Ben, what is your number 4?
It's me. I don't know if you guys seen it. You might have. Have you guys seen Heavyweights?
Of course. I love that movie.
And it's me after the night of partying, when everybody is like passed out on the ground. And that's the best meeting, but my God, it's so good. That one and the monologue Ben Stiller gives on Parents' Day.
That was the first movie I ever saw Ben Stiller in.
Maybe me too, and I didn't know it was Ben Stiller.
Yeah, me neither. Not until years later.
It's like, wow. He had 2 wars in it, by the way.
He played his father as well.
Yeah. Good movie. I love that movie.
You ever seen it, 50?
No.
When Disney Plus finally arrives in Israel, that is one I would recommend you watch. It's from that Mighty Ducks era of Disney. And
Yeah,
a lot of
you
the
have
big
him
kids-
in
a lot of
the
the
movie.
kids are in it.
It's not a Disney Plus issue. I'm not the sports type
It's
person.
not sports. It's not sports. It's about a group of kids who go to fat camp. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's just
Oh.
like at the end there is a
See,
competition.
the title is kind of misleading.
It's heavyweights because you have to see the title.
Yeah, I heard the title multiple times.
Yeah.
Just assumed it was a sports because
Yeah.
Which
heavyweight-
I get. But the poster is like the 4 main kids holding up a sub sandwich.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Bateman who lost a match due to a heavyweight?
I know I don't remember who it was, but I do know somebody did lose the match to it. Yeah.
I think it was Bateman, but I could be wrong.
I suppose he just couldn't remember these Titans.
Jesus. Which I've still never seen. Remember the Titans. Yeah.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
Apparently not good enough for Sam Levine to remember.
Twice.
That's a deep cut shot.
So now, what's your number 4, man?
So number 4. Great time to get that note.
Okay.
No, stuff to do with my grandma. No, my number 4 is from the movie The Shawshank Redemption, and it is Red's speech at the parole hearing. I know what you think it means, Sonny. To me, it's just a made-up word, a politician's word, so young fellas like yourself can wear a suit and tie and have a job. What do you really want to know? Am I sorry for what I did? There's not a day goes by I don't feel regret, not because I'm in here or because you think I should. I look back on the way I was then, a young, stupid kid who committed that terrible crime. I want to talk to him. I want to try and talk some sense to him, tell him the way things are, but I can't. That kid's long gone, and this old man is all that's left. I got to live with that. Rehabilitated? This is a bullshit word. So you go on and stamp your form, Sonny, and stop wasting my time, because to tell you the truth, I don't give a shit. Paroled. He gets paroled off of that. Such a great moment for Red in that movie. He, like, as much as the movie's about Andy Dufresne, Red is the heart of the movie.
Red hot. Hard.
Yeah. None other but then Morgan Freeman.
Again, Morgan Freeman shows up on this list.
I wonder why. And Ryan's number
Great
4 is Al Pacino's speech from Any Given Sunday in the locker room. You have to die an inch for football. Yeah.
Right. All right.
Well, wait. We don't get to talk about Shawshank Redemption. I almost said Red Dead Redemption. That's a completely different redemption. Also featuring Red, but they showed that movie and like a movie night and a Saturday night when I was in the military. And well, when you're in the military, you don't exactly want to watch a movie about people in prison. We also did watch Saving Private Ryan during the war, but that's beside the point. But so maybe that I haven't watched that movie since because of the feeling I got from that night. But it's definitely a movie that I should rewatch because of how people revere it as much as they do.
It's been a moment since we watched the movie as well, but it is a fantastic movie, and that's an example of how you take a short story and make a movie out of it.
Yeah,
because that's literally all it was. Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So next,
Okay, my next, and I actually have it right in front of me. I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. Hold on, the next one kind of gives away the name of the movie, but
I think I know it.
okay, we'll keep
you
going.
think you know it then?
I think I know it.
I need a little bit more. Keep going.
Okay, here's the dead giveaway. It's true that you're a Pokemon who exists just
Okay,
like I
didn't
do.
know that. Never mind.
Yeah, it was a dead give. It's Pokemon, the first movie, also known as Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Never
It's
seen it.
Mewtwo's speech at the end after they had this whole fight of all the Pokemon fighting each other without their using their actual abilities, just a slap fight for those who actually had arms and hands. But it was the Mewtwo coming to terms with realizing that even though he's technically a genetic mistake, he's a clone. He shouldn't exist. Again, it's not the circumstances of one's birth that determine who you are. It's what you do with the gift of life that determines you who you are. It's one of the most beautiful moments in a Pokemon movie of all things. And that's a slap in the face to anyone who thinks that Pokemon movies can't be as deep or as rich as some other movies of its generation. But it's a life lesson that we all need to learn.
That's a thing that just animated movies in general do. People just look at it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's cartoons for kids. No.
Yeah, but you have that on top of it being a Pokemon movie that people have their own unique biases about those movies for other reasons, obviously. Well, other stupid reasons, but still.
Yeah, the only reason I never watched it is because I was never into Pokemon. That's the only reason I never watched it.
Yeah. They have like 20 plus movies, and I'd say at least half of them are good.
Okay.
More than half.
That sounds like Star Trek.
That sounds like Bond.
Yeah, Bond is a much better example.
True. Well, no, I was just going with Star Trek because it seems like the odd ones are the ones that are less revered. The even ones are the ones that are, so it kind of evens out.
I personally don't have a Star Trek movie that I don't like, but I wouldn't say that all of them are good.
So far, I'd say the motion picture is the one I've liked the least. The ones I've seen.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen 3, 5, or 6 yet.
No,
All right, Ben.
Everybody 4.
Oh, of course. 4 was the first one I saw.
Oh.
On VHS.
Okay.
That's how long ago that was, and I haven't revisited it since.
My turn?
Yeah, well, double dumbass on you.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn, Ben.
It just means when a team's losing halfway through a game, they need a comeback speech, and the speech is neat to the Mighty Ducks. Ducks fly together.
Yep. When the rooster are crowing and the cows are running in the pasture,
The
ducks fly together.
Yeah. God love those kids. God love those kids.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben asked me yesterday, oh, I'll be shocked if this isn't on your list. I'm like, it's not even fucking close. Not that I would love it.
To be honest with this, I didn't go for the best speeches. I went for the ones that I liked the most.
That's what I did too. That's why it's somewhere on my list.
Yeah, that's my number 3. I'm not going to go.
I can't believe, Jess, I didn't fucking think of the speech, and it's one of my favorite movies.
Also, congratulations on the new profile pic.
Oh, yeah. New profile pic and name. There you go.
Right.
Okay, I've never seen Requiem for a Dream, and I don't know if I ever want to see that movie.
Okay, Matt, what is your number 3?
So, be prepared. This one's a little bit of a long one. It is Charlie
You just said
Chaplin.
be prepared.
Oh, shit. It is Charlie Chaplin's speech from The Great Dictator.
Yes.
It is hands down. It is a speech that, even though the movie came out in the late 1930s.
5?
No. It was before America went into World War II, because when this movie, a little bit of the backstory, a lot of people actually were fascinated by Hitler at around the time this movie was made, and Charlie Chaplin was one of the first few to see just exactly how evil he was, and that's why he made this movie, to take the piss
Because
out
he's
of Hitler.
Jewish. Just saying.
His brother was Jewish. His Chaplin was not. His half brother was Jewish.
Wasn't?
No, he sympathized with the Jew, but he never actually outright came out and said that he was Jewish or he wasn't. It just, everyone assumed because of of this movie. But his
his brother, was it like a stepbrother?
No, it's so he has a brother, Sidney Chaplin, who's older, same mom, different father.
Well, if it's the same mom, he's Jewish, because that's how Judaism is determined.
Yeah, but I don't think it's from
the mom is Jewish. Then the son is
not from Hannah. It's not from Hannah. But anyways, I digress. So basically, no, when they were making this movie, a lot of people were giving Chaplin shit because they're like, well, you do not attack this guy. And then, of course, it comes out he's one of the worst people ever live in human history. But the speech itself, it still resonates now as much as it did in the late 1930s.
It's 1940. I just looked it up. 1940.
Made in the 30s, though.
Okay. Still during the war, though.
No, for sure. Still during the war. And like I said, pre-America's involvement, because at that time this movie came out, nobody quite knew the atrocities that were being committed over on the other side of the Atlantic. But anyways.
Technically speaking, they haven't even started yet, but okay.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white, we all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. And this world has room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More like machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life would be violent and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that make men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say do not despair. The misery that is now upon us, but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. But as long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourself to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate. Only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery. Fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written, the kingdom of God is within man. Not one man, nor a group of men, but in all men. In you. You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines. The power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future in old age of security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now, let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's any more we can say about that speech that the speech itself doesn't say.
Yeah. It's so ironically weird that a man so synonymous with silent movies, one of his best moments of cinema history, is a speech of all things, as great as it is.
But the beauty of that is, that's not the little tramp talking. That's Chaplin himself.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite movies. And there's a documentary that is on the Criterion DVD called The Dictator and the Tramp, because Hitler and Chaplin were only born a week apart. And Hitler took the mustache because he wanted to ingratiate himself with the people, like Charlie Chaplin.
Yep.
But it's a fascinating documentary on like the parallel of their lives, because like I said, they're born within a week each other, just to see their travels and stuff. It's a really good documentary.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Sounds more like it would make a great premise for a movie. Also,
that is true. That is true. And funny thing, Hitler did see The Great Dictator, and from all reports, he hated it. No,
really,
he loved it. Hitler. Okay, this is one of the things I've learned about Hitler. I was like, really, dude was a massive film buff. He got movies sent to him all the time, even the movies that were banned from the German public from seeing.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he was a massive Hollywood fan. But
we don't need to go into that.
Nothing to be applauded about him.
Did he watch it while he was in the cupboard?
Okay.
It was a Doctor Who joke. Oh, never mind.
I got it. It took me a second. Okay, 50 Shades of Bringing the House Down. What's your number 2?
Okay, my number 2 is an excerpt from a much, much, much longer speech. And if I were to read the entire speech, we would literally be here an hour. But I specifically grabbed the most important part, my favorite part, and most importantly, the part you actually do see in the movie, which is the relevant part. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this. Dang it. This is the day of not being prepared for things. Okay. Okay, please try to ignore what's written on the actual sweatshirt here, because this has nothing to do with swag. This upcoming speech does not represent swag in any way, shape, or form. I just needed a hoodie.
Drip.
Drip. Okay, so here we go. The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. But I assure you, my resolve has never been stronger. In order to ensure our security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for safe and secure society.
Yep.
Okay.
Emperor,
what?
I was gonna say Emperor Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith announcing the birth of the Empire. Great fucking speech.
Like I said, the full speech is like, oh God, who had time to write all this? And I actually did read all of it. And if you're a Star Wars fan, I do recommend at least reading the full speech, because it's actually a bit fast. First of all, it's going to help out with a lot of Star Wars trivia knowledge, just saying. But it's kind of fascinating that all of the different points that Palpatine was trying to make during that speech. And I think it might be from the novelization also, but it's because it's always been a mystery to me how Palpatine was able to trick everyone into believing the Jedi were the bad guys, and everyone just believed him. You just read that speech, because he accurately details all the steps that according to him, the Jedi took in order to ensure their dominion over the Republic and turning the Republic and reshaping the Republic into what they wanted to do, which ironically is what he did at the end of it. But And again, we just had this speech come immediately after the Great Dictator's speech. Two very similar speeches. And also,
Wow, talk about timing there.
Yeah, and also Scar's speech as well, which was my number of. I forgot about that.
50 like dictators.
No!
I'm kidding. I'm so sorry.
I'm saying just take a look at yourself. Take a look at the world you live in right now. Take a look at the governments that rule you and learn to recognize when your governments are actually doing something shady. Take a look at their speeches and compare them to speeches from dictators from our past, fictional or otherwise, to just learn to recognize when you're being treated like sheep, which is what people of the Republic were.
And to people who just say that Star Wars isn't political, you need to rewatch them.
Yeah, you don't know Star Wars, dude.
No,
you don't know shit. You don't know
exactly. You don't know shit.
You don't know shit, and never tell me the rules.
Actually, I like that. I think 50's got a new catchphrase.
There you go.
Okay, before we go to your number 2,
they should have made that into a GIF. Why did they never do that? Why did no one ever make that into a GIF?
It's probably out there. It's probably out there.
No, believe me, I looked.
So before Ben starts his number 2, we got Jess with hers is 10 Things I Hate About You when the main character reads the poem at the very end, which, yes, is a great speech. I haven't seen the movie since I was a teenager, unfortunately. Ryan's number 2 is Bill Pullman as the president in Independence Day because duh. And Frenchie's is the Joker crashing the party in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I didn't do that before I read my number 2.
Spoilers.
Fucking. Perhaps it's fate today is a 4th of July. July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We are fighting for the right to live, to exist, and should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as a day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without no fight. We're going to live on. We are going to survive. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. From the president of Independence Day, the best U.S. president in the fictional movie.
Agreed.
Boom! Welcome to Earth.
Not Will Smith, but agreed.
I know, but I just wanted to put that at the end because,
Love
it's
that.
the iconography of a black man kicking away oppressors, just punching them in the face and telling them, "Welcome. This is our world, bitch."
Oh shit! I never thought of it like that, but you're right.
Point.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my number 2.
I knew it was gonna show up on your list eventually, but you're right. It's such perfect timing that Ryan mentioned it as his number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it couldn't have gone any fucking better. So, my number 2 is a speech from one of the, not only the greatest hockey movies of all time, but it is also considered one of the most important events in sports history.
I know it.
It is from the movie Miracle, which is considered to be one of the most historically accurate films ever made, believe it or not, right down to dialogue. And that includes this speech. So a little bit of backstory into it. 1980, the Russians, the Soviet Union, were the dominant in sports. They had not lost a world championship at that point for like 30 years, something ridiculous. So they were the favorites going into the Olympics, and so the Americans, wanting to insert their dominance, hired Herb Brooks. And what he did is he ended up recruiting players from one set of players from the team he coached, University of Minnesota, and the other players were from their rivals, the University of Michigan, I believe it was. And so the whole movie is about them working together, trying to get the other two build up the team. And this speech is what's given during the final game. Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One game. If we've played them 10 times, they might win 9, but not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate with them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world. You were born to be hockey players, every one of you, and you were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it. And they win the game. That speech?
Surprise, surprise.
That speech is 100% accurate. That is the speech that Herb Brooks himself gave to the players during the game. Great.
Respect.
Great movie.
movie.
They got Herb Brooks himself to work on the production of the movie. Unfortunately, he died before it could be released in a car accident. Yeah, no, hands down, best hockey movie they've ever made, and it's not even about Canada, Russia, 72. And there you go. Here's Ryan's number 1.
Well, right.
All right.
So,
honorable mentions. I don't have any.
Okay. Okay, so I've got 3.
Okay.
Buzz Lightyear's speech in Toy Story 2, if for no other reason than for the fact that while he's giving the speech, there's the American flag behind him, which actually transitions into the TV of the guy behind him.
Nice.
Which, by the way, if you watch it outside of the US, it's just a globe spinning around. And shit, I forgot my other 2. My brain is just a mess today. So maybe I'll remember it later and I'll share it with you guys. But Ben, what's your honorable mentions then?
I have 2. Gary and Walter's speech coming to reopen the Muppets in the Muppet movie. And the Muppets 2011 movie. And never speech at the end of Deathly Hallows Part 2. And everyone thinks Harry is dead.
That's a great one.
That's a great one.
That's a great one, and also not in the books.
Really?
Yeah, that's well. They redid that whole fucking scene.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I could honestly. I had a hard time narrowing down what would be on my honorable mentions list. That's why I didn't choose any because there's so many that I'm probably going to forget and going to kick myself for. So.
All right.
Okay, it's better than forgetting your honorable mentions, but okay.
Oh, okay. Before we go, Jess, this is a heartbreaking speech. It's when Forrest is talking to Jenny at her grave.
Oh.
Whoo! That is such a good moment. Good scene.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
good.
That's a movie. It took me a long time to finally get on board. I love it. Like I've always liked it, but it took me a long time to love it.
Really, I liked it first time. I was having a really, really, really bad weekend at the military, and one of the officers there, a good friend of mine. We've never been too close, but I mean, we really bonded over that movie. He gave me his laptop. Which, quick side note: military officers don't do that. They don't. But he gave me his personal laptop, and he's like, hey, "There's a movie called Forrest Gump on this laptop. Watch it. Watch it over the weekend and tell me what you think about it." And I did, and it was one of the best weekends of my life.
I saw the movie when I was 7. I saw it when it came out on VHS, so I think I saw it a little too young to I liked it, but I think I saw it too young to actually appreciate it.
I guess it's a movie that you need to be in a particular age, a particular mindset for it to affect you the way that it should.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to me.
And these are Ryan's honorable mentions. Gary's speech in Team America, Armageddon with the 14 Brave Heroes. Yes, there's a lot of good speeches in that. And Keanu Reeves in The Replacements.
Okay.
Okay, so 50. Your numero uno.
Okay, my number one, the reason I even came up with this partially the reason I even came up with this top 5 list in the first place. This was the first one that came to my mind, and it is a speech, but it's also partly a conversation between two characters, or at least it starts out that way. And it's from my second favorite movie in a franchise that survived 2 reboots. That's all the hints you're getting at the moment. And I rehearsed this speech multiple times, not reading it off of anything. Hopefully I can recite it from memory. But yeah, here it goes, I suppose, and I will be in character the entire time, hopefully. Caesar, this is not how it was to be. In your views or mine, Caesar, violence belongs ape, and ape belongs violence. By what right are you spilling blood? By the slave's right to punish his persecutors. Caesar, I, a descendant of slaves, am asking you to show humanity. But I was not born human, I know. The child of the evolved apes, whose children shall rule the earth. For better or for worse? Do you think it could be worse? Do you really think this riot will win freedom for all your kind? By tomorrow, it'll be too late. Like a tiny, mindless insect, like the emperor moth can communicate with another over a distance of 80 miles. An emperor ape might do slightly better. Slightly. What you have seen here today, apes on the 5 continents will be imitating tomorrow. With knives against guns, with kerosene cans against flamethrowers. Where there's fire, there is smoke. And in that smoke, from this day forward, my people will crouch and conspire and plot and plan for the inevitable day of man's downfall, the day where he finally and self-destructively turns his weapons against his own kind, the day of the rising in the sky, where your cities lie buried under radioactive rubble, where the sea is a dead sea, and the land is a wasteland, out of which I will lead my people from their captivity. Then we shall found our own cities, in which there will be no place for humans, except to serve our ends. And we shall found our own armies, our own religion, our own dynasty, and that day is upon you now!
Only thing I can tell you, it's from a Planet of the Apes movie. Oh, there's more.
There's more. But now we will put away our hatred. Now we will put down our weapons. We have survived through the night of the fires, and those who were our masters are now our servants. And we, who are not human, can afford to be humane. Destiny is the will of God, and if it is man's destiny to be dominated, it is God's will that he'd be dominated with compassion and understanding. So, cast out your vengeance. Tonight, we have seen the birth of the Planet of the Apes. Now I'm done. You're muted, both of you.
Did you have that thing? First off, did you have that memorized?
Yes.
Right fucking on.
No.
Now, I knew right away it was from Planet of the Apes. I just don't recall if it was the 4th or the 5th movie. 5th?
It's 4th. It's Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. My second favorite of the franchise.
Gotcha.
Wow.
I haven't gotten that far into the series yet.
It's a good one.
Knew the speech.
It's good.
It's a great speech.
Yeah, well done, 50. Well done.
Like I said, I rehearsed this multiple times before coming on camera.
Dear Lord.
I may have forgotten half of my list today, but at least I remember that one.
And right on you. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Oh yeah, that was good, 50. I think it's gonna fucking put me to shame.
Yeah, me too. Thanks. All right, is it my turn?
Yeah, good luck.
Well, I will say this. I may do a similar thing once we get to certain speeches from a certain doctor that we
Oi,
are about to recap
oi,
on our other show. Just saying.
oi. Okay. All right, here we go. What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decided this. We hit over with a human bomb for Homer.
Oh my god!
And then it was down. Because when I'm going. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Who's with me? Let's go. Come on, what happened to that Delta I used to know? Where's the spirit? Where's the guts, huh? This can be the greatest night of all the But you're going to visit me the worst. Oh, we're afraid to go with you. We might get in trouble. Here's my ass. From now on. Not me. I'm not going to take this. Remember, running dead man. In the fire dead. Let's do it. And from the great comedy Animal
As
House.
soon as you fucking said the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor, I immediately pictured Boone and what's his face in my head. It's like, should we tell him? No, he's on a roll. Let it go.
I thought it was something completely different the
As
entire
soon as
week.
you said the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor, there's only one person I pictured, and that was John Belushi.
Oh my, I love this speech. I used to memorize it. I used to have it more up here, but yeah, I love that movie. I might watch
That
it
speech
today.
encapsulates everything you need to know about those characters right there. I don't get it.
It's imagine this, but without the emoji.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? I saw that. It made no fucking sense.
It took me a while, but
No, Ben was one of the best scenes in that whole movie. I love that movie to pieces. I really do.
We should do a watch along of that movie.
Sure, if it's streaming for me, I own it. But I mean, yeah, I'd be down for it.
all right, Soda. What is your number one from Rocky then?
Shut up.
Oh yeah, that one. I knew there was something missing.
Yeah.
Okay, fourth years, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna expand the screen so I can't see you guys while I'm doing this.
Hi.
Let me tell you. Fuck off. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always going to love you. No matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son and you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life. Don't forget to visit your mother. It's the speech. Too late. It's the speech from Rocky 6, which is one I do take. I mean, a lot of people know the line. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Because that's really, that is what life is. It's not how hard you take. It's not how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can take the hits. And it's a great speech, and it's a great moment, and one of my favorite Rocky moments of all time. And that's saying something. That's saying something. Also, fun fact that I totally forgot about: the Rocky IV fight and the Miracle hockey matches all filmed in the same arena in Vancouver.
No kidding, that's cool.
Of course they were.
Shut up. But yeah, love that speech. Like, I mean, and honestly, there are several others that I could have taken. There's the one where Rocky is confessing his true thoughts to Adrian in the first one about how he feels like a fraud, like how he should be up there with Apollo Creed during the fight. That's a good one. I mean, you could go the hokey one. You could do the fight at the end of Rocky 4, or the speech at the end of Rocky 4, where it's like, if I could change, you can change, everybody can change, which I'm curious to see if it will still be in the director's cut.
Oh, and almost has to be, right?
Is there any reason why it shouldn't be?
Well, I was watching the making of it the other day, and Stallone's embarrassed by a lot of that movie. So anything's possible. Yeah, he's just like, a lot of times he's watching the old footage, he's just like, oh, what was I thinking?
That's the one with the robot butler, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that is taken out of the movie, which a lot of people are upset about. But reality, the robot was just in the movie because Stallone saw it at a party and liked it. That's the only reason the robot was in there. So it's not really that important, folks.
Does the robot butler even have a name?
No.
Because I saw someone mention that robot, and I came up with a perfect name for it. Robot Butler the Third, also known as RB3.
Yes.
I had to get it in somehow.
I'm surprised nobody has done that.
You don't think I have a little less respectful?
A little, but it's a great pun. So why
And
the hell
what's
not?
better? He hates that movie.
I'm not.
Even better.
Even
Like
better.
you said, even better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings it into our list, and hopefully you enjoyed our attempts to act, which I think 50 wins the whole freaking cake on that.
Well, you get some high praise. You get some
Well,
high
thank
praise.
you, Mom. Thank you. I tried to do my best Rocky impression. That's why I had to put it full screen the speech so I didn't see you fuckers. I don't think I could have done it otherwise.
Okay.
Just don't look at the screen. Oh,
It's
you
kind of
needed.
hard when I'm looking at the camera.
Okay.
And then,
Well,
yeah,
I wasn't looking at the. Okay, never
yeah,
mind.
but
never
you
mind.
had it memorized. I didn't.
True, but I'm surprised you haven't had that memorized.
Actually, me too. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
If I'm being 100% honest, I've never memorized a speech from a movie. I don't know why. Just never have.
I mean, I have an entire movie memorized in my head. Can anyone guess which one that is?
Lion King.
Lion King.
Yeah, maybe.
1.5.
No.
I like 1.5. That's
Me
a
too,
fun
it's
movie.
It's a fun movie. Dig
Okay,
It
top
Down.
five Lion King movies. No,
Can you even make 5?
technically speaking, yes,
You
but
do the Lion Guard, yeah.
the Lion King, the Guard TV movie, yes, but they're making a Mufasa prequel, so you know.
That's true. That's true. Fair point. Fair point. Okay.
And you knew he in Mufasa or is it called in Hercules?
It's Scar.
Which one? What?
So in Hercules, the animated Hercules.
Oh yeah, Hercules. Yeah.
It's
Scar.
Scar.
Yeah. It's got the scar on the eye. I mean, come on, man.
I'm gonna remember. It's been a minute since I've seen that movie.
Okay.
It's one of my
Sheesh.
favorites. One of my favorites. All right,
yeah.
folks. That brings it into the list. So Ben, do you have a topic for next week?
It's going to be a mystery for you guys because right now it's a mystery for me. I have to think
That's a
about
very
it.
meta mystery then.
Jesus.
Christopher
right.
Nolan got
You know
nothing
what?
on you, Ben.
Thank you. I have one. Top 5 fourth wall breaks in movies. and
Oh,
TV.
that's a good one.
Oh my lord. There's
Did you say
so
movies
many.
and TV?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
I mean, what would
you
you
could do
guys?
Jim Malone from The Office.
Oh, fine. Only movies. Only movies.
Okay.
We could do a TV one some other time.
Yeah.
All right then. So top 5.
Thank
Fourth
you,
wall.
50. That gave me, you gave me the idea with that meta thing.
And that is how breaking the fourth wall is all about.
There you go.
And on that note, 50, where can everybody find you?
On that bombshell, it's time to end the show. You can find me on my YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek. You can find me occasionally whenever I remember to stream on Twitch on 50 Shades O Gaming. Geek. And you can find me recapping the greatest show in the galaxy with these wonderful people and Jess in the comments. every Monday. We took a week off because apparently some people needed some time to get over a certain doctor leaving the show, so we took a week off. And yeah, and you can also find me later tonight on Let's Talk About Star Wars with Taco, Gold Leader, and who else is there? Is Ryan Payne gonna be there also, Soda?
For what? Tonight?
Well, Let's Taco.
I think so.
Ryan said he wanted to.
Isn't tonight Noah Kelly?
Yeah.
I was saving that for last. That was supposed to be a surprise, but thank you, Ben. But yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be on Let's Talk About Star Wars with Taco, Gold Leader, Laura Kelly, and potentially maybe even Ryan Payne. Who knows? But yeah, and you can still find my Patreon, patreon.com/Pokemon Star Cross and Crescent. I designed a Pokemon game based on Israel.
And Ben, what about you?
You guys can find me in 2 hours on this channel. I'm Matt Schmodown. We're going into the career of One Chance Ellison, and he's coming on today. Going to be a really fun one, so come watch.
Okay, and as for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Ben? I wasn't sure if you were done.
You can also find me on the other shows on this channel, shooting the breeze, this recapping, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me on pretty much every show on this channel. And tonight you will be finding me producing the Star Wars show that 50 had also mentioned. So definitely check that out. So on behalf of myself and these two gentlemen, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave your comments, all that jazz. And we will see you next week on It Gets Sweaty, folks. Stay sweaty.